Hey guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it might be for you. It's a wonderful day in the shop. I'm going to reference a project I started on the mini lathe about 5 months ago. And you may want to go back and look at it. It's a search for Cody's Magic Tube Part 2 Parting. And as far as the parting thing goes, it's something that should have been, certainly should have been put on a saw. It's a project that I saw on Blondie Hack's channel. It's a magic tube, and you've all seen my miniature shotgun shell. It's an example of the magic tube where well, my hands are just tore up. Where you got the tube, the cylinder, and the seam disappears. This one here came out very nice, and that's beautiful. My secret formula was employed to achieve that fit in the threads, and my secret formula was also employed here to a lesser degree of success. Threads are pretty horrible. The external threads are fine, really, but the internal threads are a lot to be desired. Now, it does tighten up and lock. It actually feels like there's a little detent there, but it does tighten up and lock up, and I got a little trepanning design on the bottom. So like I said, 5 months ago I started this and on the mini lathe, and for whatever reason it fell to the side. And what I really want to talk about is my secret formula. And I know there's probably, my expectations are that somebody in the comments is going to explain to me how I should really be doing this. Now, what I did here is I cut the internal threads first, and then I went to cut the external threads to fit it. Is that how I did this? Yes. And for some reason, during the process, I was thinking I should have done it the opposite way. I should have made the external threads first, and then cut the internal ones to fit it. But the thing is, I'm not cutting half 13 or 1/12, 1 inch 12. I'm just taking, a random diameter, and basically I think I cut the threads on the internal. I measured what I had. I added 40 thousandths, and that was the diameter for my external threads. And I have a feeling that there's a couple of terms that I just read. I have a feeling that the major and minor diameter things are going to come into play here. So the reason I picked this back up Well, let's go back to this now. So, I want to take a random diameter and put a random thread in it. And then I want to make a cap that'll screw onto it. And like I said, in the past I've measured, I believe I've always cut the internal threads first, and then measured that and added 40 thousandths, 50 thousandths, depending on the thread pitch. But I'm just guessing, and I got lucky a couple times. This time not so much, but yeah, whether it closes and locks up is irrelevant. It's a fail. And the reason I'm bringing it up is I am tempted to make like a thermos. Wouldn't really be a thermos, but a magic tube on steroids, let's call it. So, before I start cutting up this and blowing away a hell of a lot of brass, I wanted to do a practice run. And the practice run told me that my formula is not reliable. So I don't want to do this until I have a reliable formula for. So let's say this is, okay, let's just call this 2 inches. So I want to do, I want to leave maybe 1/8 inch walls. I don't know, 1/4 inch walls, 1/8 inch at the top, and so how do I decide what the diameter of my screw is going to be in relationship to my bore? Now, one thing that I did that was kind of fun on the mini lathe was this kind of trepanning design, and I used the 4-jaw and offset the piece, and I didn't do this by hand, but I did it at a very low RPM, and I basically just used a high-speed steel threading tool. And let me give you a little closer look at it. It's one of those things where, I should have stopped when I was ahead, but, I kept moving things around and trying different things. I probably should have stopped before I did these little circles, because this is, but, for whatever reason, it's, it's pleasing to the eye as far as I'm concerned, and I'm the one that matters. So here's a little close-up of that. Pretty long thread. See, there's my external threads, and they're pretty bright. Never know what you're seeing. The internal threads, not so much. This is 18 threads per inch. Yeah, so maybe 40 thousandths might have been too much. I probably should have only added 20 thousandths. Or, let me think here. If I measured the inside and added, I should have added 60 thousandths instead of 40 thousandths. If I had added 60 thousandths, I think I would have had a better fit. So the smaller the thread, the finer the thread, the the greater addition to the diameter of the screw. Now, trying to think if I have any other examples of this. Now this one came out very nice, I thought. Now it's a lot coarser thread also. Once again, the internal threads don't look that great, but the external threads are marvelous. So go, if you feel like it, go check out or search for Cody's Magic Tube Part 2 Parting. And like I say, it's a parting operation that probably should have been done on a bandsaw for sure. Okay, I guess I'm sorry I didn't record any of that, but it was basically just cutting threads, and you can't record everything you do, I guess. But yeah, I'm just, I'm still kind of up in the air on turning this into a flask, and maybe not the entire length, maybe 3 times the depth of the cap, maybe. So the cap is 1.5, so that would be 4.5 inches. I would take it down to here. And that would be that's a good size. And I'm thinking that could be a Christmas present for my son, maybe. Stick some of his shooting supplies in there or something. Put an O-ring in it, make it waterproof. Cody's Magic Tube Part 2 Parting. And Magic Tube 1 shows some boring. And it might be kind of interesting to see where I was back then, 5 months ago on the mini lathe, what I was making. Okay, guys, keep the comments coming in. I really appreciate it. Appreciate the new subscribers. Keep coming. No, never mind. I'm not going to go there. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time.